Are you wasting money when testing Facebook and Instagram ads? Do you have a repeatable framework to produce results? Are you taking advantage of how smart the meta algorithm has gotten? In this video, I'll give you the testing framework that I've used to drive $50 million in revenue for clients in a variety of different industries. My name is Sean Bacastow. I've spent the last 10 years advertising on Meta. I was the director of marketing at Cameo, and now I run an agency called Pure Funnel where I help tech companies grow with ads. So first, I'm going to give you some background on why I like this particular system for testing. And then I'm going to show you how to set up a campaign from scratch. The three reasons I like this framework are it's simple, it's easy to manage, and it's easy to understand what is and isn't working. I've tested so many different ways of setting up campaigns, and typically I'll use multiple different campaign setups per account, but this is the core framework that I use today. And this is what it looks like. It's very simple. You have one campaign, you have one ad set, and then you are constantly rotating ads within that ad set. Typically, you have 3 to 4 ads live at any given time. And what happens is when you realize one of your ads or 2 of your ads aren't producing results, you can turn them off and replace them with other ads. So your ads are constantly competing with one another to produce results. I also have a great video. I think it's great. I have a video on how to analyze the results that you are getting, so you can check that out to understand which ads you should be turning off and which ones you should leave on. Okay, now we're gonna set up a campaign together from scratch. So we're in my ad account here. We're gonna go ahead and click create. It doesn't really matter. We could choose leads or sales here. Let's go ahead and choose leads for this example. That's a lot of what I've been doing for clients lately, so we're gonna do leads. Now, you're gonna get a choice here. You can either go with the recommended settings, which is kind of like a done for you ads for dummies approach, or you can go with a manual leads campaign. I recommend manual leads because it gives you more control. That's what we're gonna go with today. Okay, now we've created our campaign. We have shells for the campaign level, the ad set level, and the ad level. We're gonna name our campaign test campaign. Very original, I know, thank you. We don't have to declare a specific category for this. We can lead this the same. We don't want to use advantage campaign budget. That would basically allocate spend dynamically between our ad sets. We don't want to do that for this particular framework here. And we're not going to set up an A/B test today. So we can just click next. Now we're on the ad set level. We're going to name our ad set test ad set. Wow, took me a while to come up with that. And we're going to send traffic to our website. Let's say we want people to check out our website and then fill out a form on the site and get leads that way. So that's what we're going to do. Performance goal, we are going to maximize the number of conversions here. That's what we're going with. We have our pixel. The conversion event is going to be, let's say, lead. This is going to depend how you pixel your website. Like if someone submits your form, they go to a thank you page, you may have a lead pixel fire or a lead event fire when they do that. So that's going to depend how you set up your pixel. Dynamic creative, we're going to keep off for now. It can be a nice tool sometimes, but I don't use it for this system. Let's say our budget's going to be, let's say $50 a day. It's kind of arbitrary. Start date is today, end date, never. Budget scheduling, no. Ad scheduling, no. Audience controls, we're going to be targeting people in the US here. And I typically keep Advantage Plus audience on. You know, meta studies have shown that it leads to increased conversion. I like to leave it on. You can add an audience suggestion if you want. So you could say, let's say my audience I know is typically 25 to 40. And oops, that's 64, not 40. 40, and let's say I know that it's typically women who are into, let's say, travel. I'm just making this up as we go. So I might want to say like frequent travelers and frequent international travelers, things like that. But you don't have to do this. Like, let's just go broad. You know, broad targeting is basically age and gender and location as well. So let's just stay with broad for this example. And then our placements, I typically stick with Advantage Plus placements. You can edit your placements if you want, but let's just stick with Advantage Plus for the sake of this example. So we're going to click next here. We're going to go to general collaboration. I'm using my friend's Facebook and Instagram account. He started an awesome company called General Collaboration. Check them out, generalcollaboration.com. We're using it for this example here, and we're going to call this, can you guess what I'm going to call it? Test ad 1. So this is test ad 1. We're going to manually upload our creative. It's going to be a single image ad. I typically turn off multi-advertiser ads. I don't really have a strong opinion here. I just, from a brand protection standpoint, I guess, for clients, I typically turn it off. Ad sources, generalcollaboration.com. That's where people are going to go when they click our link. Now, let's add an image here. I actually just took a screenshot of something on his website, so I'm going to be the first to say this is not like a well-crafted ad, but we're doing it live here, people. We're doing it live. So with these Advantage Plus creative enhancements, I usually leave some of them on and turn some of them off. So these are not eligible for us, so we don't need to worry about that. Music, I turn off because I find that they typically choose bad music, and from a brand protection standpoint, I just don't want that. So as much as I would love for Sugar Plum Fairy by Mandalorian to play while someone's viewing my ad, I am going to go ahead and opt out of that. So I'll click done here. Now, this is where it gets not tricky, but this is where we have to do some work. So we're going to run one single image alongside 2 primary texts and 2 headlines. So our headlines could say something like, let's say our headlines, we want to keep these under 50 characters. So 1 inbox to rule them all. And let's just say, I typically probably wouldn't do this if my creative already had a big headline like this, but this is an example. 1 app to comment back. Those are both a good length for headlines. And we're going to choose 2 primary text options. So we could say, every comment, thread, and mention from all the apps you use at work in 1 inbox. Okay. Again, I probably wouldn't choose a primary text that's also in my ad creative, but this is an example. I would probably also choose like a long format primary text if I was actually doing this. So like what the product is, and then it would have maybe like a review from someone. It would say, top product on Product Hunt, and it would be like a long paragraph. But we're just gonna, for this, we'll just say like, as featured on Product Hunt. And because this is an example, we're just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so the idea here is this is our first ad. We're gonna have 3 ads. Each of these 3 ads is going to have 1 image, and then Meta is going to dynamically show either the primary text and the headline to people based on what they think they'll want to see. And you're going to be able to see results on which headline and primary text performed best. You can also look at headlines and primary text that have been generated by Meta. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Don't bother with a description. I never put descriptions on my ad. It just adds another data point that it's just not that important, and it muddies the water, so I don't like it. Call to action, we could go with learn more. We could go with download. It is an app, so maybe, when I can, I like to go with a really action-oriented CTA, but sometimes like it just doesn't make sense and you don't want to scare people away, so you go with learn more. We're going to go with download here. And then we have the website link here, the display link. We don't need that. That's fine. We're not going to use any browser add-ons, not using languages, website events. So we're sending people to, in this theoretical example, we're using my event set, this data set for PureFunnel. And then I would put in some URL parameters like, source equals Facebook, for instance. I have like a whole set of parameters I typically use. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to leave that blank. Now that we have our first ad set up, all we need to do is go over here to the action menu. We can say quick duplicate. We're going to set up our second ad. We just change the title, test ad 2. If this was a real example, I would click here I would remove this ad creative, and then I would add a new creative, but I only have one. So for the purpose of this example, we are just going to use this. We're going to go to enhancements, turn this off. Boom, boom. There we go. We have our test ad 2. Quick duplicate. Test ad 3. You guessed it right. You guys are so smart. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to remove it. We're going to add our hypothetical third ad. Pretend this is a different ad. All of these should be unique images, okay? We're not adding the same creative in the real world 3 times. Turning music off. Here we go. Now we have 3 unique ads. And we would click publish campaign. Okay, now hypothetically, we've published our campaign. We have 1 campaign, 1 ad set, and 3 ads. And now, once our ads start spending and we get some results back, we can make decisions about which ads to leave on and which ads to kill off. So let's say we find that test ad 2 is just way underperforming the other 2 ads. We would turn that off, leave the other 2 running, and we would just publish a new ad. We would maybe duplicate this, say test ad 4, and now we would switch out the image. We'd turn this on. So now this is a new creative that we're gonna let compete with test ad 1 and test ad 3. And over time, we'll just have like a graveyard basically of ads that we've turned off that were just underperforming, and our best top performers always stay on. So at any given time, maybe you have 2 to 3 top performers, and sometimes I'll have a 4th, like sometimes I'm testing 4 ads at a time. Like I'll have two to 3 winners, and then I'll have 1 to 2 test ads. You'll just feel that out as you go along. But over time, yeah, you'll have your 3 to 4 ads that you're running, and then a bunch of ads that you've turned off. And you can always come back to a test ad if you find that, okay, I've run 20 creatives after that and they all underperformed. Like maybe you turn this back on. I don't do that a whole lot, but I actually have a whole video where I show you exactly what metrics are important, how to analyze all of this meta ads data that you get back. So check out that video. Now that you know how to test your Facebook ads the right way, and hopefully you've watched my other video where I show you exactly how to break down all the data you get back and what's important, what's not, how to analyze your data. There's still a lot to be learned because you have to understand what type of creative performs well on Meta. And that's where I can help you out. If you want personalized help to scale your Facebook ads and make sure that you're testing in the most effective way, getting the most for your ad budget, click the link below, check out my agency Pure Funnel. Send me an email, we can hop on a call and figure out if we'd be a good fit. And if you're still learning, don't forget to check out my other videos where I talk about how to get the best possible results from your meta ads. See you there.